Hi, I'm Dusti VanSlyke, and I am going to be sharing some information about project-based learning today. Project-based learning is a learner-centered pedagogy applicable to all ages. It involves students identifying a real-world problem with connections and engaging in a hands-on project to identify a solution. Project-based learning places emphasis on the process of inquiry over the final project. Through connecting with students' interests, prior experiences, and family funds of knowledge, well-constructed projects excite and motivate students to work collaboratively on learning about a topic in depth over an extended period of time. How do you encourage independent and critical thinking? Students should share their findings with others in insightful ways and using a range of communication strategies to suit various learner preferences and abilities. Project-based learning also fosters great teamwork and positive social relations. Sometimes people think about project-based learning of basically a free-range chicken. And we all know that treating students like a free-range chicken is a recipe for great disaster in terms of management and learning. So teachers are the leaders of the learning and provide varying and appropriate levels to set the students up for success and growth. The teachers are still in charge and still teaching, and by creating checkpoints and using tools for accountability like contracts, students are helped along the process. There may be students and pieces in a project that allow for more independent learning, but in most project-based learning experiences, real teaching needs to happen to help with real learning. I put together 9 steps of project-based learning to kind of help people realize and help set up if you're planning on doing project-based learning in your classroom. Step 1 is setting the stage. The teacher or the coach needs to set the stage for the students with real-life samples of the projects they will be doing. For example, if you're going to be building a bridge and you're researching bridges, how tall they are, how strong they are, it's just giving them a little bit of background to help set the stage for the project. Step 2, taking the role of project designers. Students will take on the role of project designers, possibly establishing a forum for display or competition. The students have to have a goal in mind, which is set, of course, by the teacher or coach. And then the teacher or coach assigns the students their roles as engineers, if that's what the project, like I said, with the bridges, they would be engineers. And then each group of 2 to 3 students is to be a firm competing with other groups to build whatever they are going to do with specifications and be subjected to the outcome that you set. Step 3 is discussing and accumulating necessary background information, which is needed for their design. So basically the students are conducted research, so they're going to need a MacBook, an iPad, and all of that, and then exactly what their goal is still in mind, what they're researching, so they can get some background information, and they can also use their own schema as well. Step 4, negotiating the criteria for evaluation. The teacher and the students do this together. So basically they just come up with the projects, how they should be assessed, and maybe ask some questions. Basically, if it's a cost, if it's the weight, and so it's going to be a competition, so they need to set, if we're going to be talking about bridges, how much did the bridge cost? How strong was the bridge? How long was the bridge? And so those are on the evaluation for the final project. Step 5 is accumulating the necessary materials. Just basically whatever the project may be, the students and the teachers need to work together, and a lot of it can be recycled material. I kind of relay this, a project-based learning, to a STEM or a STEAM project also. There's a lot of recycled products that they can reuse, like toilet paper rolls, bottle caps, yarn, fabric, and then of course paper and scissors and tape that you have here in the classroom. Step 6 is creating the project. Students in each group will work on their own sketches and graphic organizers until they decide on a final design. They come to a consensus. During the stage, the teacher still serves as the coach, moving from group to group, and the teacher just needs to guide the students in the correct directions, not giving complete advice on what to do, just making sure that they're on the right track. And step 7, preparing to present the project. The students in each group prepare for the final stages. They discuss whether or not the presentations needed to be rehearsed or whether display cards had to be written. And they also, they just ask themselves who, what, when, why, the cost, and all of that. So they're ready to present and each person is involved. And step 8, presenting the project. During this stage, the students become aware of the ways their presentations meet the criteria of assessment, and the teacher observes how engaged they are when they present their project. So really step 7, they really need to prepare for step 8 so everybody is involved. And the last one, step 9, reflecting on the process and evaluating the process. In this step, the students discuss what they enjoyed about working in their pairs or small groups and how one student's idea would spawn another student's idea. They may also discuss what they liked about the materials and what they found to be frustrating. Students can share their reflections to note what they had in common and what was special to each pair or in each individual personally. They then review the criteria of assessment and discuss how well they met them. So basically, project-based learning equals critical thinking. When the students practice decision-making and good reasoning, they're exposed to examples for real life. They are able to expand their skills, evaluate their options, and think critically, of course. The activities and whatever you choose will help students visualize how events actually unfold by having students conduct research, discuss and write about the material, collect or draw illustrations, and reflect on their work. Students learn from each other by analyzing and then reinforcing the main points and making sure they have them all, and moving information from short to long-term memory. Most importantly, students talk content and write for a purpose because their work is often presented in front of their peers. This should be more hands-on, interactive strategies to motivate and engage the students and to foster an environment that makes learning fun.